Morning. It's another Wild Eye review for this morning. Today's title is from 2017, and it hit distribution on March 2020, and it's the title Wild Eye Raw and Extreme: Evil River, Beware the Water Witch. Really graphic movie here. Stars Margarita Ramadi, Claudia Marasca, and Marcella Braga. As you can tell by the names, this was Italian produced and saw distribution through Wild Eye about 2 or 3 years later after it came out. It's unrated. It's widescreen presentation. Has the behind the scenes, deleted scenes, music, video, and trailers all in this little like not compilated, but it's in one house here with all these features. It says Death Will Never End. It was also a winner of 30 international film festivals. It's being compared to Suspiria, very Suspiria-like, mixed with Groundhog Day on LSD. So it has a lot going on in it. It has a lot of details in it as well. I'm going to cut that kind of down a little bit because a lot of it is a lot to remember. But basically, it starts off with a lady named Emma, who's a professor of women's studies at a university in Rome. She makes a long trip to the town of Voghera, Italy, to take a tour of an archaeological dig next to which this movie is actually called Shanda's River. That's actually the river that she's there going there for. Apparently, it was named after a 14th century woman who was accused of being a witch and causing the deaths of thousands of people when they actually died of the plague. The superstitious townspeople banded together and drowned Shanda in the river. And ever since then, there have been a series of strange murders near the river where Shanda was killed. I believe they called it the Red River Murders, if I'm not mistaken. The police believe there's a serial killer on the loose. On the long train ride to Voghera, Emma has a dream where she sees Shanda rip out her eyes with her own hands and offer them to Emma. And then she wakes up. Emma arrives at Voghera and waits for someone to pick her up. She's sitting on a bench and sees a strange symbol down on the ground. A red, like a circle, a solid red circle in the middle. But she's not sure if that symbol during her stay in the strange town, she's not sure what it means. It's revealed later on. It's the mark of the what do they call them, the revenants, I believe. It's a symbol they used. I can't remember all of the details, but it's a symbol that was used. But pretty much after that, the stranger that picks her up offers her a bottle of wine made from her family's vineyard, and it kind of looked like to me that was when she started like seeing all of this stuff. Like she'd wake up at like 4 every morning. And she'd see these two cloak guys every morning. They were there to look like to kill, or not at first to kill them, but then when they approach them, then they would do violent things to them and tie them to trees. And every night she'd wake up, she'd die at their hands, but she'd never really die. And that continued several times into this movie. She'd wake up at 4 a.m. and she tried to tried to change things up because she was much like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. She knew the details of the day and how the day was going to go down for her. She knew that she'd meet her demise only to come back. But there's a lot going on in this film. She basically does this through the entire film. This movie was from Tachi Films, along with Aria Cultura. It's available on Amazon Prime right now. 4.6 on the IMDB scale right now as it stands. If I didn't say the main lady's name is Emma, and the actress played her as Margarita Ramadi. She reminded me an awful lot of Talia Shire from the Rocky series. She had looked an awful lot like her. I almost thought it was her daughter or something. But yeah, each night at 4. Anyway, I'm getting back to the heart of the movie here. She thinks that the nightmares have been caused by her drinking the bottle of wine, so she goes into the bathroom, takes a shower, and waits for Julia to arrive, who arrives at 7 a.m. and tells Emma that they will have another person joining them on the tour, a Croatian investigator, reporter named Daniel. Apparently Emma is caught in some time loop or something else going on. It's kind of that message it's sending to you throughout. But Emma decides to go on a tour anyway. The same exact thing happens over and over, as I mentioned. She keeps taking a shower every morning, and then she'll record into a little mess, one of those recorders, and tell what's going on. And at some point, she realizes that she cannot die in this time loop. So she tries a different tactic, like I said, to try and kind of offset the Groundhog Day-like scenario. But at some point, she puts a plastic bag over Julia's head to try to prove to her that she's going to, be alive by morning, because she thinks it's just all going to be, it's just going to be a repeat performance and stuff. But then it showed her in a scene where she's drunk, gets drunk at the hotel bar, steals a car from the parking lot, and drives to an underside of a bridge, and is killed again by the robed figures. Shows her try to not to go to Daniel in a later day or in a later part of the movie. He doesn't even know her yet, but she feels like she knows him because she keeps seeing Daniel in her dream, her sequence of dreams, and she goes there, she has sex with him, and then it kind of goes back on track in terms of the non-strangeness with the repeat day every day. She wakes up in his bed and she's still there, and he's got breakfast for him. Let's see. Then and near the end, Emma travels to the dig site at Shanda's River to end his curse once and for all. She tells her story into a digital tape recorder again for someone to find, but she will be successful and find peace in the afterlife. But this was a really zany movie for me in some regard, because it was like you had just gotten into the scene and then bam, it'd be morning and you'd see her in bed and she'd wake up at 4 a.m. It was very much like Groundhog Day, and I honestly think this was better than Happy Death Day. I didn't really care for the repeat stuff in that. I just thought a lot of the jokes in that weren't very well done. Stuff, I don't know, that didn't gel with me. This one I thought was a much better film. This was made on 7,200 euros on the budget that it cost to make this. This movie is available on Amazon Prime, if I didn't mention it. Yeah, like I said, the revenance is a big part of this movie, and by the end, apparently at the end of the day, they want Emma to be killed so she can be reborn and never age and be on their side, because apparently they're doing away with the witches. They're like a cult, and they're trying to do away with the witches, and they accuse her of being a witch, which I don't really know if she really was to me, because I didn't really get the vibe she was a witch. But with her keep coming back and all that, I had no idea. That was where I was a little confused on. But it was really, really well done for the money that they stuck into this one. And like good friend here at Wild Eyes said, it's awesome but zany at the same time. And that's kind of like the way I feel about the movie, because it was entertaining and it flew by. It's just what was really going on, like it's not like really a mind bender, really, that I wasn't into or anything like that. But it just like it seemed like there was one or two sequences a little longer than I would have went with it, but it all gelled together by the end. But if you hang around to the very, very end of this movie, about I think it's the last 20-25 seconds of this movie, it hinted at a sequel, which meant look, I'm pretty sure they said Shanda, which is the girl accused of being a witch in the beginning, and it looked like it could have been the Revenants, possibly, and they were gonna have another battle. So definitely hinted at a sequel. So don't be surprised to see a sequel down the road. I just don't know with the pandemic, but that's Evil River, and it is a very wild and zany movie. And like I said, I got a 4.6 on the IMDB scale, which I don't know if I, can't say as I agree with that. It seems kind of low. I'd put it somewhere around the 7 range, somewhere around there, 6.5, 7. I had fun with it, but it wasn't one of my favorite Wild Eyes. But it wasn't like at the bottom either. It was more like an upper middle. But that's my review this morning, and I'll be doing more reviews for Wild Eye in the future, so stay tuned here on the channel, and I'll be back in a day or two, and I'll see you later. Please share, like, and subscribe, and tell your friends about the channel. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you again. See you later. Bye.